Hello class, today we are here to deal with the last lesson. Don't worry, actually it is the first chapter of Flamingo and the name of the chapter is The Last Lesson, written by Alphonse Daudet. So let's start. So students, who is Alphonse Daudet? Let us discuss about him. Okay? So students, Alphonse Daudet. Who was he? He was a French novelist, playwright, short story writer, as well as a poet. Okay? He was a French novelist, playwright, short story writer, as well as a poet who was born on 13th May 1840 and died on 16th December 1897. You must have to remember all these things. Born on 13th May 1840 and died on 16th December 1897. And he was born in Paris, which is situated in France. You all know that. Now let us discuss about his early life. Alphonse Daudet was basically a school teacher. At the beginning of his life, he started his career as a school teacher, but after some time he left the job because he wasn't interested in it. He wanted to become a writer, and to pursue his dreams, to fulfill his dreams, he had to leave the job as the school teacher, and he began his writing career after leaving the job. So this was the early life of Alphonse Daudet. Now let us discuss his famous works. So students, here are the famous works of Mr. Alphonse Daudet. Let us discuss them. What are they? The first one is Les Amours Uses, which is a collection of poems. The next one is Les Petites Choses, and then Letters de Moulin, Comtesse du Lundi. This one you have to notice, Comtesse du Lundi, and the next one is Robert Helmont, then Baptiste Bonnet, and then the last lesson. Why I told you to notice this Comtesse du Lundi? Because this, the chapter, the last lesson, is the excerpt taken by this only, Comtesse du Lundi. Okay? So these are the famous works of Alphonse Daudet. So this was all about Mr. Daudet, and now let us start the chapter the story, the last lesson. Okay? Come on. Okay, students. So, the last lesson. It is a very different kind of name, different kind of title, the last lesson. Pause the video for a while and just think why the title has been given the last lesson. Okay? It is just for you to do this. After that, when we will start the chapter, it will be clear to you why the name has been given to this chapter, the last lesson. Okay? So, let's start. Background. What is the background of this story? Actually, this story is the consequence of a war. Post-war consequences or post-war story you can regard it as. Okay? What happened after war? What are the consequences on the people after the war? You can see in this story. Okay? Which war? Franco-Prussian War. Okay? From 1870 to 1871. This war was held on 1870 and it ended in 1871. Franco-Prussian War means France and Prussia. War between France and Prussia. Now, Prussia. It was the collection of some countries. Which countries were there? Poland, Germany, and some parts of Austria. So it was the collection of some countries, and the countries were Poland, Germany and some parts of Austria, and this was led by Bismarck. Who was the leader? Bismarck, and he led the Prussia. Okay? And in this war, Franco-Prussian War, Prussia won the war and France was defeated by Prussia. Okay? Now what happened? Two districts of France went in the hand of Prussia. Okay? And what were those two districts? Alsace and Lorraine. Remember the name? It is very important. Alsace and Lorraine are the two districts which went in the hand of Prussian army, Prussian government. Okay? Now in this two districts, whatever decision is taken in Berlin, which is the headquarter of Prussia. Okay? So whatever decision Berlin will take, these two districts will follow it. Okay? Which district? Alsace and Lorraine. Okay? Clear? Now let us see what are the main characters of this story. The first one is Franz. Who is he? He is a schoolboy who is Franz? Franz is a schoolboy boy. And the second one is M. Hamel. Mr. M. Hamel is a teacher. Okay, students, Mr. M. Hamel is a teacher who teaches French. He teaches French language. Okay, and Franz is a school-going boy. So, what happened today, what is going to happen today, we will see. Today is a very special day, as well as a big surprise is waiting for Franz. A big surprise is waiting for Franz. Okay? So, Franz started for his school very late today. Why? There was a reason behind it. He did not want to attend the classes today. He did not want to go to the school today. Why? Because Mr. Hamel has provided some work in the previous class to the students, and that work was learning some questions, some rules of participles. Okay? And Mr. Hamel was going to ask some questions related to participle, and this boy Franz did not know the P of the participle, which means he did not know anything about participles, and that's why he was afraid that he did not know anything about participle and how he can face Mr. Hamel, because he was very strict teacher regarding to the studies, and Franz was very afraid that he has not learned anything, and that's why he did not wanted to attend the classes. He was ready for the school and he had to go to the school, and as he come out of the house, as he come out from his home, the day was waiting for him, and today the day was very bright and shiny. Farmers were working in their farm and the birds were chirping on the branches. The day was very beautiful. Prussian army were drilling in the field, and the day was so tempting that Franz thought that it is very beautiful and exciting than Mr. Hamel's participles class, so he wanted to stay here only outside the school. He once thought that he should bunk the school, but he gathered some strength to reach the school, and then he refused bunking the class and he moved toward the school. While he was on the way for the school, there was a town. While he was on the way for the school, he crossed the town hall. Okay, and at the town hall there was a bulletin board. Okay, from the last 2 years, for the last 2 years, all the bad news were coming from this bulletin board. Means all the news were coming from the bulletin boards, but all those news were bad only. Okay, because these districts were facing war for the last 2 years. Okay, and regarding the war, what good news could be there? That's why today also there was a crowd around the bulletin board, and that's why Franz thought in his mind that what could be the matter, but he did not bother to he did not bother to go and see the news, and he headed towards the school. He was in a hurry because he was late, and this was also a matter of getting scolded by Mr. Hamel, and so he was afraid for this also, that he is going to be scolded by Mr. Hamel. There was a blacksmith, and he shouted on Franz that, "Hey bub, don't worry, don't be hurry, you will not be late for the school, you have plenty of time." Franz thought that he is making fun of him because he was late and he did not attended him, and he rushed towards the school. So students, for today let's stop here, and in the next class we will continue the story.